Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some more Apex Legends. My freaking goodness. I must say, I am very surprised as to how much this game has been growing on me after all the day one issues have been smoothed out. And honestly, it's at the point now where I wish I would have delayed my first impressions video, because I feel as though I was overly critical of this game when I really didn't need to be. I actually delayed my Black Ops 4 review videos, and I think those reviews were much better as a result, because when I first started playing Black Ops 4, my first impressions were very bad, but then I started to play the game more, I started to learn the game and actually understand the game, and therefore I started to like the game a lot more as a result. And pretty much the same thing is happening here with Apex Legends. There are still some problems with it, don't get me wrong, but I wish I would have delayed that video just a little bit, because the hype surrounding this game is insane, and the hype is honestly warranted. Just 3 days in, Apex Legends has over 10 million unique players, and it's still the #1 game on both YouTube and Twitch. I've talked in my past couple of videos the things I like about the game and things I dislike about the game, but here in this video, I want to focus specifically on the business model that Respawn Entertainment has implemented and how publishers like Activision and EA need to start taking note of all this. So here with Apex Legends, for those who don't know, this game is entirely free. There is no cost to play it whatsoever. You simply download it to your PlayStation 4, your Xbox One, or your PC, and you're pretty much ready to go. Since this is a Battle Royale game, all the weapons are available to everybody right from the get. There's no locking them behind loot boxes or even a progression system, because that's not how the game works. You simply find the weapons on the map or loot them off of dead players and you're pretty much ready to go, right? As a result of all this, the loot boxes in this game are 100% cosmetic only. They only contain skins, banners, voice lines, crafting materials, and things like that. Because you can find crafting materials in these loot boxes and you get loot boxes for leveling up, you can therefore unlock skins in this game without having to pay any money whatsoever. There is one catch though. There is one slight catch to all this. There are 2 locked heroes when you first start playing this game, but the thing about these locked heroes is you can actually get them by simply playing the game itself. You can choose to buy them by getting Apex coins, which is going to run you about $8 worth of coins to get each of those 2 different characters, or you can unlock them by playing the game, because you get these legend tokens for leveling up, and eventually you'll have enough legend tokens to get both Caustic as well as Mirage, and therefore have every single character available to you. Now, going back to the loot boxes here for a second, did I mention that there are no duplicates in this game whatsoever? Think about that for a second. You look at a game franchise like Call of Duty, and then you look at a game like this one. This is the game, the free-to-play game that has no duplicates in it whatsoever, which is freaking absurd, right? There is a decent amount of filler content, however. There are voice lines and banners and things that people don't typically care about all that much, but there's a 0% chance that you will get something that you already have from a loot box, which means that progressively over time, you will eventually unlock everything that the game has to offer, until eventually, of course, more content is added later on. As of right now, loot boxes are valued at about $1 per pack, which is kind of like the industry standard, and you guys may be wondering, how in the world is this business model so fair? Like, typically, free-to-play games have really greedy, really exploitative business models in order to compensate for the fact that they're free-to-play. Well, the reason why this is actually working out so well, is because with Apex Legends, the entire monetization model from the top down is controlled by Respawn Entertainment, the people who actually made the game, the people who made the Titanfall universe, and also the people who likely play their own game even when they're not at work. The reason why other franchises like Call of Duty, which is the main game I post here on this channel, the reason why it has had such a terrible business model over all these years is because everything is controlled by Activision. There is sometimes a misconception that studios like Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Sledgehammer actually do run things, but it's really not true, because Activision owns the license to Call of Duty, and therefore they own all 3 of the Call of Duty dev studios. If right now every single person at Treyarch were to leave the studio, Treyarch would live on, because those people that work there don't actually own anything at Treyarch. They're simply workers at Treyarch. Activision owns absolutely everything, and if everybody left Treyarch right now, all Activision would do is hire a bunch of new people to therefore take over Treyarch and start making the next Call of Duty games, right? That's how it works, and we've actually seen this in the past. When the original Infinity Ward team left Activision, Activision to go form Respawn Entertainment. All that happened was Activision rehired a bunch of people for Infinity Ward, and Infinity Ward lived on. And going full circle here, what's so cool about this is the team, that original Infinity Ward staff that left Activision, well, they made Respawn Entertainment, who of course is responsible for Apex Legends. So that's pretty freaking incredible. And this is not only true of Activision, right? I actually want to talk a bit about EA here in this video as well, because Electronic Arts bought Respawn Entertainment a while ago, which means they have free reign to pull on Activision and do whatever they want with the Titanfall brand and the business model that we find within the Titanfall games and even Apex Legends, but they chose not to, right? The difference right now between Activision and EA is EA decided to give full creative control to the developer of the game and let them monetize their game how they want, and the end result is freaking fantastic. Everybody is enjoying this game right now. Everybody is enjoying this game's business model, though admittedly some of the items in the shop are pretty absurdly priced, right? I mean, we're talking $18 for certain legendary skins, which is laughably high for what they are, but remember that we're talking about completely optional cosmetic items in a free-to-play video game. Some people, of course, are going to feel justified spending $18 on a weapon skin because the game is free-to-play, and other people are going to laugh at that, thinking $18 for a skin is freaking absurd, and that is perfectly fine because people are free to spend their money however they want, and we're talking about a free-to-play video game here. I truly hope that Activision is paying attention to this. The reason why I want to make this video here today is because I honestly and truly do hope that Activision is paying attention to how this is working right now, because the entire games industry is getting better, right? Business practices over the course of the past couple of years have been really freaking bad when it comes to monetization. Things have been super greedy, super exploitative, but what we see here in a game like Apex Legends is actually really good. And I'm not here to say that every game has to be free to play going forward, but I am saying that whether the game is free or whether a game's full price, that the business practices and the monetization models need to be completely overhauled, because what we've seen recently has been really freaking bad, but things are starting to get better, and Apex Legends is a great example of that. We've discussed so many times here on the channel how Black Ops 4's Blackout mode should go free to play. We've talked about how supply drops in the Call of Duty franchise need to be completely overhauled or removed entirely. We've talked about how the Black Ops Pass is one of the biggest scams imaginable, and how the business model in the Call of Duty franchise is completely outdated, and I think it's really awesome that the studio to show up Activision and just really one-up them when it comes to business practices is the same studio that initially created the Call of Duty franchise and eventually broke away from Activision because they did not want to work with them anymore. Apex Legends has a lot going for it right now. I keep saying it, but I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this game is going to develop and evolve over time, and how it's going to deal with all the competition that has ahead of it. It's going to be a very interesting couple of months here in the video games industry, and I cannot wait to see how things are going to play out. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you guys here today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.